Hi, my name is Steve Zajko,
And I am Pouya Hariri.
and we chose to do our presentation on alternatives to self-disclosure. Research has shown that communicators, even those with the best intentions, aren't always completely honest when they find themselves in situations in which honesty would be uncomfortable.
There are three common alternatives for self-disclosure: lying, equivocating, and hinting. We'll go over them in more detail, so stay tuned.
The first alternative to self-disclosure is called lying. To the average person, lying is a breach of ethics. Society seems to depend on truthfulness as a social norm. Although lying to gain an unfair advantage over someone else seems unethical and wrong, telling an unmalicious or a white lie is a lot more accepted, and can sometimes benefit the person to whom it is told. There are various reasons why people tell white lies. The first is called saving face. This type of lie is used when it would be unkind to be honest, but dishonest to be kind. It is used when you want to save the embarrassment of either yourself or the recipient. An example would be when you pretend to remember someone at a party to save them the embarrassment of being forgotten. Another reason why people lie is to avoid tension or conflict. Sometimes it seems worthwhile to tell a small lie in order to prevent a large conflict. An example of this would be to tell your parents that you received a good grade on your exam when really you did not do so well, in order to avoid punishment. Sometimes we like to make everyday relationships run smoothly. This can be done by lying in order to guide social interaction. For example, you may pretend to enjoy the boring stories of a relative in order to make the greeting pass more quickly. Another reason one lies is to expand or reduce a relationship. For instance, you may say something like, "I need a cab too. Would you like to share?" This would be an attempt to try and expand a relationship. Saying something like, "I should be going now, I'm going to be late for dinner," would be an attempt to reduce a relationship. The final reason for lying is to gain power. An example of this is pretending you are too busy to go on your planned date with somebody in an attempt to make them want you more.
Equivocating. Equivocating is another alternative to self-disclosure. And equivocating is basically changing the language, right? Basically, let's say I give you an example. Somebody is interested to go out to dinner with you tonight, right? And you're not interested with this person. You're not interested to go out with a dinner with this person, right? You don't want to tell them that I'm not interested to go out with a dinner with you, right? Because that's going to hurt their feeling. That's saying the honest truth. At the same time, you don't want to lie and go to the dinner with them, or saying, yes, let's go to the dinner, because you really don't want to go to the dinner with them. What do? Simple. You change the language, right? You change the language. You just say that you have planned your night in advance and you have other plans for a night. That's it. Your other plans may be staying home and watching TV. You have already planned your night in advance, and your plan is staying home and watching TV, staying home doing something else. That's at your discretion. That's your choice. That's equivocating. That's just changing the language.
The final one we will be discussing is called hinting. Hints are more direct than equivocal statements, whereas an equivocal message isn't necessarily aimed at changing another person's behavior. A hint seeks to get a desired response from the other person. Here are a few examples.
Now, examples of hinting is, I'm going to give you an example. For example, you're sitting in a restaurant with an overweight person. You're eating together and she's ordering dessert, right? You don't want to tell her that, don't order dessert because you're overweight. You're going to get more overweight if you order dessert. You're already overweight, so why are you ordering dessert? That's not good, because it's going to hurt their feeling. Instead, you're going to say, you're going to change the language. You're going to say, these things are too pricey. These desserts are too pricey. They're too expensive. So basically, they're too expensive. They're too pricey to order. These things are too expensive or too pricey to order. That's indirectly directing them not to order the dessert, right? That's one example. The other example is the lunchtime example. For example, that it's lunchtime and you don't want to you want to ask a friend to go to lunch with you, but you don't want to get the rejection from him, right? You don't want to risk the rejection feeling, so you don't want to be direct about it. You want to be indirect about it, right? So instead of saying let's go to lunch together, right, you just say, gee, it's almost lunchtime. Have you ever eaten at a new Italian restaurant around the corner? That's already directing them to come and eat with you at the Italian restaurant around the corner, right? That's what it is.
That was our presentation. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.
See you all later.